I secretly adopted my brother and my parents just found out. Now they want him back, but I refuse. Am I the a-hole?
No, keep your brother.
Would you adopt me?
Yes.
You would adopt me? When I, 26 male, was 20 years old, my mom and dad had a 1-year-old son, Eddie. They were struggling in their marriage and had been for years. They thought that having another baby would magically fix things, but they were wrong as it just caused more problems and strained their finances. They were in over their heads and decided to give Eddie up for adoption. I begged them not to, but they had made up their minds. Social workers asked other family members if anyone would like to take Eddie. Both my older brothers refused, and my grandparents were too old. So I took my brother in.
That's so sad.
Yeah.
I mean, that's really great on that brother. But
I would
that's
adopt you.
Oh, thank you, Sam.
You're welcome. This royally annoyed my parents, and I was threatened with disownment, but I didn't care as I already had a place of my own with an ex at the time. My folks lost their paternal rights, and I legally adopted my brother, and I love him so much and was proud to be his daddy.
Oh.
My brothers didn't approve of me adopting him, but I didn't care. They had never met him, even when he was still with my parents.
What?
My grandparents helped me out a lot, and they were great. Unfortunately, they have both passed since then and left me what money they had left to raise my brother. My folks and siblings were pissed, but my aunt and uncles didn't care and thought it was the best. At family events over the years, my folks would be uncomfortable when I'd show up with Eddie, but within the last year, they had seemed to warm up a tad, and I figured they themselves wanted to act more like grandparents as he is legally my son.
I don't know. It seems like they might want something else.
They want a little bit more. During the last few months, however, I've noticed my parents and brothers try and talk to Eddie on their own about if he knows who his mommy and daddy is. What the f? He says, I'm dad. And usually I walk in and scold them before the conversation can go much further than that. I've yet to tell him the truth, and I know I have to one day, but I don't think now is the right time. And even if it was, I should be the one to tell him, which is true.
Absolutely. Because all they want, like the only reason that they want to tell him the truth is because they want to take him.
Yeah. And also he's like, what, like 5 or 6? Like he's tiny.
I don't even think he would understand it.
The other day I caught my mom trying to talk to Eddie about this again when she was visiting me, Ed, and my current partner. I asked my boyfriend to take Eddie out for a bit where me and my mom got into an argument. She thinks I'm being a terrible parent and it's time she and my dad take Eddie back. I told her there's no way I'm letting that happen, so I kicked her out. Now my parents are threatening to sue for custody and my brothers agree while aunts and uncles say they support me no matter what. So am I the a-hole?
What do you guys think? Because I think no, OP is not the a-hole at all. He took in his brother, stood up for him, and then his parents are trying to like steal him back and absolutely
and it's like
unacceptable.
he's done all the work of
all
raising
the work.
this kid. Like,
He's paid for all of the bills.
Yeah. So there is a little edit. Okay. So I told him it's half term here in the UK. So he didn't have a school. Around lunchtime, I took him to get his favorite food. We went for a walk in the parking lot and talked about family and stuff.
Such a good dad.
Eventually, we sat down and I told him about how I adopted him, but I'm still daddy and that I still loved him. But then I explained how I came to look after him. It's fair to say he didn't understand some things and has been a bit quieter than usual, but he cuddled up to me while I was watching a film I loved when I was a kid and said, I love you, daddy.
Aww.
And then I put him to bed. I'm feeling better and I hope he does too. To say it's been an emotional day is an understatement. I think OP is like literally the furthest thing from an a-hole. Literally adopted his parents' son to make sure that the kid had a good upbringing. If your parents had another kid right now, would you adopt that kid? I feel like I would have to, honestly.
I feel like you could.
Yeah, I could.
I don't have
a house. It would be a little
house.
tough, but yeah. Yeah. So
I have no income.
Yeah. I'm basically adopting Sophia right now. But what would you do if your parents had a kid right now? Would you adopt that kid? Let us know in the comments. Or if you have done that, peace.
I locked my boyfriend out of his studio so he couldn't work. He was annoying me and being way too loud. Am I the a-hole?
He was being annoying. He doesn't deserve the right to work.
He's not allowed to work.
He's not allowed. You know what? If you're annoying, straight to jail.
I, 28 female, live with my boyfriend, 27 male. I moved in with him about 8 months ago. I have disabilities and sensory issues. This is important. In general, he is respectful of the accommodations I need. My boyfriend is a professional sculptor and has his studio in our house.
Sounds like like a dope dude.
It's in a place I have to walk through to get to the bathroom and yard, and there's not another good place in the house for it. The problem is that I'm constantly affected by the way my boyfriend acts while he's working. He listens to music while he's working on his headphones.
How dare he?
And it's always rocking out with his body motions,
You're having fun sculpting?
mouthing the song lyrics, etc.
Bro, this guy sounds so cool. I already hate OP.
He says it helps him work, and I understand this. The main conflict is the constant dancing and mouthing lyrics, which he says shouldn't matter because it's silent. I tried to explain to him that with my sensory issues, that's just the same as if I could hear the music.
What?
He said I could just enter that part of the house less while he's working. I mean, what? The bathroom is there. There are also problems with him bringing buyers over to see his work, and we have policies around this. I need to be notified in advance and agree, which get broken. I've come home and there's a buyer in the house, and he thought it was fine because he didn't expect me home. Having a stranger in the house is very unsafe for me. I might be affected for days. He again suggested that I should avoid his studio in that case, despite this being my home now too. I was having an extremely bad day yesterday, week really, and I just needed restorative peace in my own house. So I hid the key to a studio. I told him I would give it back in an hour and just needed total rest for now. And said to him, like he said to me so many times, that maybe he should spend the time in another part of the house.
Okay, wait. That's where he works.
I really would have given the key back in an hour, but he freaked out and bluffed that I was going to make him lose a commission if he couldn't work right then, which gave me an anxiety attack. So this is where I might be the a-hole. I didn't return the keys until that night.
Bro.
What?
Bro.
That's where he works. He thinks I'm the a-hole, but I think for the most part, I just wanted a little peace in my own home. Am I the a-hole? There is an update, but what do you think so far?
My goodness.
What do you think, Sam?
Okay, so like obviously there's a lot of like mental health issues that
Of course.
OP has.
Of course.
But just because you have mental health issues doesn't mean you can have free license to be a
yeah.
and hide someone's keys to their apartment. And it sounds like this is you're literally
That's
infringing on his livelihood.
Yeah.
Like
that's his job.
That's his job.
That's his whole life.
It's crazy. He's like, yeah, he's having fun while working and dancing, and that pisses me off.
Update. I accept that I am the a-hole for hiding the keys to my boyfriend's studio. I was the a-hole. My boyfriend and I have now discussed several solutions to the problem I posted about, and none of them involve me hiding his keys. I asked my boyfriend if I'm abusive. He said no. So there's that. I tried to explain this before, but I think I left out too much information to make sense. The central conflict is that my boyfriend's sculpture studio is in a part of the house that I need to cross through to access the bathroom and yard. And he constantly dances around in the room while also bringing clients and buyers into the house.
Your boyfriend sounds so cool.
Just the
I want to be
dancer.
friends with this
Let him
dancing sculptor.
dance. All of this makes me feel unsafe. It might be hard to understand for people without sensory issues, but him dancing around in the room is physically exhausting to me. And I can sense him doing this even if I'm not in the room. She's tough.
She has a sixth sense for people having fun and hates it.
The presence of strangers in the house also is very unsafe and can cause me literal days of anxiety. My boyfriend and I have had many discussions about the accommodations I need, and it seems like I'm simply not getting through to him on these issues, although he's considerate of my needs in some other areas regarding living together. Lately, we had an argument where I hid his studio keys. Again? As a result of being simply exhausted and needing to be able to rest in the house, which is my home too. I recognize hiding his keys was excessive, but my point is that I can't think well or make proper decisions in an environment where I don't feel safe and sane.
She did it again.
Am I the a-hole for needing to have boundaries respected in my house?
She's the a-hole. Oh my God.
Wait a minute, Sam.
OP.
What do you guys think?
Bro, it is fine to have, like all these sensory issues and blah, blah, blah. But you probably just need your own apartment. It doesn't seem like you can live with this feel good dancing
He's
sculptor.
just a dancer.
His legs cannot be tied up.
He can't be controlled.
He can't be tamed. I want to meet him. I want to meet him. I want to be friends with him.
I'm sorry, OP. You need your own
want
apartment.
to date your boyfriend. I got in one little fight. My mom got
Not
scared.
scared.
She said, move with your auntie and uncle
That's
and
the
Belair. Boom. Ding, ding, ding. Or this is the fade out to the music. Ding, 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 boom. Ding, 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 ding. My neighbor is a dirty tattletale and makes sure the entire neighborhood gets thousands of dollars of fine. I'm not inviting her to the neighborhood barbecue. Am I the a-hole?
Snitches get stitches.
Buttholes don't get barbecues. There's around 10 houses in my neighborhood of 120 that are not in the HOA, mine included. As a result, I'm able to make extensions and I have a pool, which I host neighborhood parties occasionally. My HOA is one of the worst HOAs, constantly fining people hundreds of dollars for parking violations, painting their fences the wrong shades of brown, wrong color curtains, having 2 flags, etc. They're not the worst HOA, but they're bad.
What's the wrong shade of brown? What does that mean? That
sounds
crazy.
racist. We also got a shitty neighbor, Jessica,
Ugh.
who likes to go around and snap photos of people's violations and then post it on the Nextdoor app to shame them. She prides herself in this, thinking it makes the neighborhood better when she shames the Smiths for having a fence that's 2 inches too high. You know what? You know what else is 2 inches? Husband's dick. She also just got mad at the Johnsons for having a light brown door instead of a dark brown door.
What's the problem with the brown doors?
Jessica, all right, and this is, I think this is an old English term, but Jessica is a fucking cunt.
No.
Excuse my French. She's probably cost neighbors thousands of dollars in fees or forcing them to renovate. I absolutely lost my shit when Jessica posted in the Nextdoor app about how Mrs. Jensen, 85-year-old woman currently having serious medical issues, has a lawn that's a couple inches too high. She obviously can't mow the lawn and was too busy to notice. The HOA then fined her $500.
Jessica should mow the grass.
Jessica should be buried under the grass 6 feet under.
Yeah.
I made a post in the Nextdoor app about the Nextdoor app saying that the suburban fascist on the HOA nor Jessica were invited to my barbecue at my house.
Yeah. You're not invited to my birthday.
I love how it's like an announcement. Like, hear ye, Jessica.
Formally
Fuck you,
not
you're not invited
to my barbecue.
Jessica went on a rant saying how much of an angel she is and how she protects the neighborhood doing her duty, her civic duty. And I told her she's a lowlife scumbag busybody and is a pathetic loser with nothing better to do.
Oh my God.
OP. I feel like you can, you don't need to be so nice, don't lean into it a little bit. A couple people said I was bullying and excluding her, and like 4 of her friends are now boycotting my party and hosting their own party. Well, guess what, Sophia?
Barbecue off?
But they have a barbecue off, and guess what?
Who won?
The party happened.
Oh.
And nobody showed up to theirs, and ours was a blast.
Lame party alert.
She apparently cried over it.
She cried over the barbecue?
Yeah, her lame ass barbecue.
Her tears were sizzling on the grill.
That they were. And let me tell you, no one wanted to drink her sad tears on the barbecue. Well, at least, yeah, maybe if she cried on the steak, at least there would be some seasoning.
There would be some seasoning. Because I bet Jessica doesn't season her steak.
Yeah, Jessica. I bet she likes her steak well done.
Yeah.
Gross.
Gross.
Ew. So, is OP the a-hole for not inviting Jessica to his barbecue? I want to know what y'all think. Put your answers in the comments. And also, has anyone used like Citizen or Nextdoor or any of those kind of like neighborhood apps? My mom uses it, and she actually, we'll call her in a little bit and ask her about her Citizen experiences. But Sophia, what do you think? Is OP the a-hole?
No, Jessica seems like a snitch.
Yeah.
And as we know, buttholes don't get barbecues.
Buttholes don't get barbecues. You heard it here first, folks.
You heard it here first.
Yeah. We're just trying to spread the good word.
Yeah.
I mean, the bad word, the sad word,
the sad word,
the butt word,
the word,
the word,
the Lord,
the word, the butthole word. But let's hear from my mom about, I guess, our mom, our collective mom. My mom.
She's not your mom.
She's my mom about her experience with Citizen.
Hello?
Mom, you're on OKOP with Sophia and Sam.
Hello.
What?
What is your experience with the Citizen app?
What? The Citizen app?
Yeah. the neighborhood app thing.
Oh, that's terrible. It just makes you freaked out about your neighborhood. It's
Like,
awful.
what are you freaked out about now?
No, nothing, because I don't look at it.
Well, what were you freaked out about?
What was I freaked out about? Well, it just sort of makes you aware of all the petty crime. I prefer not to know about it.
What's
To
the
be
petty
my
crime?
bubble.
Is there like people stealing shit?
Yeah, everyone steals shit.
Yeah. What do you think we should do with all the criminals?
Well, we can't send them to Australia. That has already been done.
Send them to Idaho?
What? No,
Where do we send them?
I don't know. I don't know. I'm an architect. I can design a prison for you. But
Oh,
Don't
sick.
design prisons. We don't
Yeah,
want
we
prisons.
don't need prisons, Mom. Prison is slavery.
It is actually.
no.
Look into it.
Okay, so in conclusion,
What?
would you or would you not recommend the neighborhood apps?
No. Wait, no. You're talking about the next door.
Next
There's
door or
and
Citizen,
there's
either one.
Yeah, no, I don't like either of them. They're just a bunch of, I don't like them.
Okay. Well, thanks, Mama.
Okay. All right. Love you.
Bye. Love you too.
I
Bye.
love you.
Okay. So don't use those apps
Don't use them
unless they in the future sponsor us
and abolish prisons.
and abolish prisons. Okay. We'll see you in the
3
next
things
one.
we learned today.
Yeah.
Ready? Buttholes don't get barbecues.
Wow.
Don't use the Nextdoor app and abolish prisons.
Wow. You really learned a lot
That
on
was a recap.
OKOP. Okay.
Crash course.
See you soon.